This week we've been asked to say where we are in the game development. We've got all the basic gameplay in, we've got some levels in, we've got collision maps and stuff in. We've got a slight problem with deleting stuff in that we assume the scripting language would do it, but it's not, so we're going to have to do that. Fortunately that's Stucky's doing it, so he's the one who's ripping his hair out. I'm just working on getting shaders in now, so our characters will look pretty and other such like things. All the jumps and that are now tweaked to what they should be in the final game, and we've got it running at 50 frames per second when we don't include the nastiness of that list. For future, I would like to work in small games where I get to work on various different parts of the game rather than in a larger company where I have to focus on a single task. That's been reiterated this last week when I've been having problems with the shaders and I've been able to just go and tweak something else that needed doing that wasn't as critical, and that's freed up my mind. In my experience when working in a big company, that wasn't as possible, and that's why I'd like to work with a smaller company, even if the games are not going to be as mainstream. The project's gone pretty well so far. We're developing a lot faster than I expected. I expected us to be at this stage at the end of week 8, if not week 9. So most of the code is in and is at the stage that we're now playing with it to make it look pretty. And basically that's my job right now, is trying to make the graphics look pretty with particles and shaders and MBX code. I'll also be working on collisions to make them as nice as possible, but there's now finishing the game and hopefully it'll be soon.
I'm Stucky and I'm the lead programmer for Team Caffeine, and this week we've just found out that I implemented a very bad bug in pretty much the first week. Lua is a bit strange in that it automatically does garbage collection for us. However, we've got a list of all our redunk entities. The problem is the main list container is always referencing each little node inside the list, which means that Lua gets confused what is being referenced and what isn't being referenced. It can only clean up what is not being referenced, and because the table has always been referencing its nodes, which is a head mess up to try and get around, it's not getting cleaned. So we're constantly adding redunks and things to this list. It isn't very cleaned up, so there's a very large amount that's being developed. And we've only just started to hit a point where we're actually being able to notice this leak, because we're adding a lot of fancy graphical effects. We've got physics and AI and everything going on at once. For some other bugs I've managed to find and fix at the moment, there's still got the animation system to go over. At the moment, the way it works is it takes where you're changing the animation state, it takes in its current animation and the one that you're going to set it to, and once the weights change, it switches them around, but it switches it around too fast so it looks like it actually judders a bit, which when you're trying to have a smooth animation flow, it looks rather hard. There's also some mess ups with how the animations are called. I originally had them, I hacked them in a stupid amount of time, and it was all referenced as numbers. So you would pass in current animation, comma 5, which made no sense to anyone but me, and now doesn't make any sense to me either. So I've been defining them as actual names, so it's like Kobe Run, Kobe Jump and so on, and it makes a bit more sense now so people can read it. As for what I want to do after day, I want to sleep. Definitely want to sleep for quite a while, hibernate for like the rest of the year. But it would be nice to just do what I've been doing really, gameplay programming. Before I more or less build the engine, and therefore know what goes on behind the scenes and everything. I'm quite happy just standing back and letting everyone else do the physics and AI and all the rest of it, and just writing the gameplay stuff that actually does things on the screen, like blow the door open or whatever. Because to me that's a more fun thing to do rather than being knee deep in hell writing engine code that makes no sense to anyone, including yourself, and the physics stuff which I'm not really good at anyway, so it works for me and it's fun.
Hi, I'm Dave. I'm one of the artists on Team Caffeine, and this week I'll be working on textures for the level assets. So this is the breakable wall in the game. This is actually the texture that we'll be using within the game. I've also worked on the floor texture, which is what I've been doing just now. And this is what it looks like in the game so far. Got a few assets in there. We're just blocking in the main section of the first section of the factory. And then from here, we're going to work our way backwards into the background, which is what Neil's working on now. I think that's it.
Alright, just thinking about how far the project's gone.
So, the project's come on pretty well. So far we seem to have a reasonably nice game. It looks really well. We're pretty happy with it. From concept to the finished game, it seems to be coming along pretty well. We have chopped and changed a few things, but that's what every team has done. So apart from that, it's come along nicely. You'll have to ask me again in 2 weeks' time.
And now, any thoughts about what you'd like to do after this? Jobs and stuff?
Yeah, I want to try and get a job in the industry with proper games. No. I'm just trying to get a job. In the games industry. Beggars can't be choosers, but I'd much rather prefer working on smaller projects, a lot like there. So online, maybe mobile games or just smaller productions.
This week I've been working on the first level models that are mesh for that, and it's finished now. So I'm moving on to the second level that Dave is also working on. And at the moment I'm just working out how we can use vertex colouring to help us save on texture space. So far I think the development's going fine. There's not been many major problems. We've kind of been doing what we set out to do all the way through. We've kind of found that what we planned to do is what we ended up doing. At the moment, like we got all the character animations and all the characters done, so I think we're pretty much on track to get all stuff done in time. At the start of this week, we decided to drop one of the levels to give us some extra time at the end for polishing, because we think that would be better doing a little less but have higher quality than have too much and have it a bit iffy in places. After Dare, I've been offered a replacement at Rare, so I'll be starting on that a few weeks after then Dare.
Hi, I'm Jonathan from Team Caffeine. Last week we worked on our music for the game, the intro music and some in-game music. This week I'm working on sound effects, and today working on dialogue for Dr. Junkhead. I've got some intro music here to get to hear that. So it kind of fits the tone of our game, which is a bit mad and kind of black comedy style. The progress so far, I think, is it's going well. I think we've had to make some difficult decisions in the last kind of week, but I think they had to be made and they were the right decisions. Nothing. The game's not really changing. It's just the kind of the scope of it that's changing. It's perhaps too big before, so we've removed the last level and we're going to concentrate on making the previous two higher quality. But over the weeks, I think everything has gone really quite well, and I'm pretty chuffed to where we are now. So doing Dare has made me realise that I definitely want to do game development. I've really enjoyed it so far. I think just the size of the teams, I quite enjoy working on a small team like Dave does, and really nice to work for a company where you can do that. You can work in a fairly small sized team.